All right, it's feeding time. I'm gonna add nutrients to my patented compost tea brewer, which is tied into Riverponics growing system. My other invention here. So yeah, I'm gonna do a walkthrough, try to explain this as best as I can and try to not skip anything or miss anything like I always do when I want to talk about something. It's hard to remember stuff when you're videoing, talking to yourself. But anyways, you can see my plants are doing good, doing real well, and I've only applied nutrients like this is going to be I think the third or fourth time this year, and I really don't put that much in, and I'm keeping it very simple and basic. Just using calcium nitrate, and I have a lot of peppers in here, so I'm just using a pepper and herb fertilizer. So that's from Greenway. So that's what I'm going to do. So the patented brewer, you can do water soluble stuff like this, or you can get a tea bag, like a paint sock or whatever, right? And you can do compost teas and stuff in here. So you put the paint sack in here. You can tie it off to like right here, you know, let it hang in there and marinate. And here, we'll take this one off too. Here, get this one out of the way. There we go. You can see what's going on. Not much to see there, but so this is the brewer. This is where you put your nutrients. You can put them in here or down in the reservoir. So how this works is this is a patented closed loop compost tea brewer. So I'm using a 5-gallon container brewer, and then in this case it ultimately dispenses out to the grow system, then it comes back to the reservoir. Okay, and then there's a, you can see there's a pump down in there attached to this, my wand, and this pumps the water back into the brewer, forming my closed loop. So you can technically put nutrients in there too. There's a float valve right here attached to a 1/4-inch line that runs over here to my garden hose that has a leak. So back to the brewer, we're gonna put some nutrients in here. Like I said, some water soluble. Might as well do that right now. And I'm gonna use, I'm keeping it really simple. I'm just using pepper and herb fertilizer, Greenway. So I'm doing that, and then I'm just using calcium nitrate. And you can go to the store and get like magnesium, or Epsom salt, which has the magnesium and potassium. But try to do this one-handed. It's difficult, man. But so I'll just put like 2 scoops in right now. Basically, this is what I do. Not even full scoops. And at this point in stage in the game, I'd probably do this once a week, once every 7 days. And I'll do the same thing with the calcium nitrate, and about like the same amount. Put your compost tea out to your system. There's a built-in filter in here. I can show you that. Get some of this stuff out, but everything's removable in here. So I'm going to take this out and probably leave it out because it's hard to find that hole when I'm filming. But there's a filter, and I'm just going to leave it out because I'll struggle trying to find that hole right now. So you got the filter that's removable, and then this is an airlift, and this is also removable too. I'm not going to pull it out, but it's easily removable. That's why it swivels. Okay, so everything's built real well, very accessible. There's no glue fittings on here. You can see it's kind of leaking right there a little bit. If that was an issue, if I was worried about that, or indoors or something, I would use silicone caulk for all my joints on my PVC. But actually, I'm not having any leaks other than that, and that's like pretty much almost sealed itself up, you know. And being outdoors, I really don't care. So like when it rains and stuff too, I'm a soil guy, and I'm using soil in these containers when it rains and stuff, the rain leaches through the soil, and then it leaches down into the grow channels, and then ultimately recycles through the brewer. So that's kind of cool too. It's a nice feature being outdoors and having everything just very fluent. That's why this system does so well. And I can show you how it returns. Now there's roots already. Look at that. I'm gonna have to keep my eye on. This is the part where you have to keep an eye out now. When you get roots start to get down here by your drain, you're gonna have to train your roots to work around your drain. So anyways, here's the, see, here's the inlet. It comes in from the brewer, right? Shut off valve right there in the red, control valve. And there's the drain, and I'm using a spacer, and that spacer is about 2 1/4, 2.5 inches. Put it down in there, and that's what controls the level of fluid in your grow channel. And you can see how it's open-ended right here. It's like that down on the other end. So the water in here circulates like this, travels around, so it's very fluent. So that's how that works. So this 2-inch pipe is way overkill. You don't need to use a 2-inch pipe for that, but even with that said, you can see how I have, that's a 3/4 stuck into the 2-inch pipe. No fittings, it's just stubbed in there, so this grow channel is easily removable from the whole system. And let's say I wanted to isolate one of these grow channels, and I obviously plug this off, you know, and then I wanted to keep the water in there. I could just leave that spacer in there or get a taller spacer, you know, kind of thing. So a lot of flexibilities to this system. It only runs on less than 60 watts. So it's like a standard light bulb to run the whole system here. All right, did I cover everything? That's the back side of it. No, I guess not. No, so I'm gonna put this back. So there's your float valve, right? You can control that, how much water you want in there, but obviously you don't want it to go past your higher than your drain because it'll leak out, right? It'll leak out where it's right there, where it's stubbed in. So that's what happens when it rains. Any excess water actually comes out there, out the drain, into the ground. So that's what's nice about being outdoors. It really don't matter, you know. But so anyways, yeah, here's your control valve. And that controls how much fluid comes out of the brewer, out to the grow system. And then here you have your, that's where your clean out. It's capped off there. You just pull that cap and lift your filter out of there. Then that will drain your compost brewer for cleaning purposes, what have you. So overall, this thing's built like a tank. It'll last you forever. I've been using the same equipment now for years outdoors. Yeah, it's held up real well. Just keeps on performing, and I keep it very simple.